A plane with 9 people on board made a hard landing and slid off the runway in Kalaupapa, Molokai this morning. The Makani Kai Air Cessna 208 was arriving from Honolulu at about 8:30 this morning. Nobody was injured, and the Hawaii Department of Transportation tells us the damaged aircraft was removed from the runway shortly before 3 o'clock this afternoon, and that operations resumed after the runway was cleared of rocks and other debris.
It's a two-direction runway. You know, it's runway 5 and 23 direction that you're coming. You don't have no error for crosswind landings. You got to make sure your landings, you know, are set properly and ready to go when you're coming in. You got to really think about it because there is no other crossing runway there that you can use.
The FAA says there was another plane on the runway at the time of the hard landing, but couldn't confirm if it was involved in any way. But this evening, we spoke directly with the owner of Makani Kai, who told us what he knows about that second airplane, and that he also said his pilot did what she was trained to do. Richard Schuman tells us there are many questions still to be answered, but this is what he does know. His pilot called in when she was about 7 miles out after seeing another aircraft doing practice maneuvers. After looping around the airport, the other pilot radioed in that they were clear of the runway. But Schuman says it turns out they were not.
So as our pilot started touching down, she noticed that that other plane was not clear of the runway. It was actually on the end of the runway, probably coming back, or what she says, like facing them. So unsure what their intentions were, so she made a maneuver to try to avoid colliding into them and ended up landing hard herself.
Schuman says after the plane came to a stop, everybody, including 5 locals and 4 visitors, got out safely. There were no injuries. But this is where the story gets interesting. Schuman says the other plane then attempted to take off, but then aborted when they ran out of runway.
So they ended up taxiing their airplane and parked it in front of the terminal at Kalaupapa, and at least that I know of, I understand there's at least 2 people got out of the airplane, and then they hightailed it out of there.
Schuman says both the FAA and the NTSB have all been notified and are searching for the occupants of that second plane. As for his aircraft, while he says he doesn't have any damage estimates yet, he does know that it's too damaged to fly.
It will not fly out of Kalaupapa. If anything, it may be dismantled and we would barge it out, and then, you know, but yeah, it's not flying again out of there.
Schuman says although his pilot is relatively new to the company, she completed all of her training and was certified to fly into Kalaupapa. And while he praises her performance, he says standard protocol is to keep her on the ground while officials investigate.
It's such a relief that, you know, there's no injuries, and the pilots did exactly what they were trained to do, and the outcome's good.
Digging deeper, you may recall about 3 years ago, another Makani Kai plane crashed off Kalaupapa. It was December 11, 2013. The single-engine plane lost power because of engine trouble shortly after takeoff. It went into the ocean. The state's health director at the time, Loretta Fuddy, managed to get out of the aircraft but later died. The pilot and 7 other passengers all survived. An NTSB report on the crash later said Fuddy's life vest was too small for an adult and that it was also defective.